We're back with the Summit School District Spotlight. I'm joined here by Peder Hansen, our district STEM coordinator, and our middle school teacher, Ben Brown. So we've been talking about STEM in the school district, and there's been a lot of construction, if a lot of you have noticed. And how has this directly affected STEM in the district?
Well, it's given us a lot of great opportunities, actually. Part of the recent renovation efforts were to put a makerspace in every school, and so now each of our 9 campuses has a new makerspace. Makerspaces are awesome for STEM. Science, technology, engineering, and math just ooze out of makerspaces. You know, it gives kids a lot of opportunities.
Yeah, they can jump in and make a prototype that is authentic in nature, as we've been talking about, but with a real makerspace rather than something just in our classroom. We're hoping that we can come up with a product that the students can be proud of, you know, a more polished and finished project, using tools of the trade, accessing resources that allow us to build those polished prototypes so that the client can actually see what the students have been working on. So
the other neat thing about a makerspace is it's kind of like the Disneyland of engineering.
Yeah.
I feel like, really. When teachers see it, when kids see it, they're like, whoa, what's in there? What can I make? What can I do? And we all know that hands-on learning, that critical thinking, that being able to build and deal with engineering limitations, rethink something, figure out how to do something with the tools you have or even with the tools that you don't have, give kids a good opportunity to really get into the process of innovation, get into the process of group work.
Kids and teachers, because we're going to have to learn how to use a lot of this ourselves. It's going to be a challenge for us to be learning the new spaces, but that challenge is an opportunity, and I find it to be something that'll be really fun to see where the kids succeed, where they fail, and where we can improve based on those failures. Because a lot of design thinking, a lot of STEM that we talk to the kids about is failing forward. And that in these new spaces is going to be what we do as well. We're going to go in there, we're going to have all these great ideas, and then we're going to make a mistake. But those mistakes can be something we should learn from and grow from, because these spaces have been shown to really provide great outcomes for a variety of different industries, not just teaching. There's a hospital in Florida that has an entire makerspace for nurses and doctors to go in and use when they see a need or a problem, and they can build something, they can build a prototype that they think might benefit the hospital. And there's been huge gains in that hospital from those types of spaces. So if we can really get the effective use of these makerspaces and have the tools in there to be able to make it awesome, that's what we're looking for. It'll be great.
Well, and awesomeness aside, I mean, one thing we haven't talked about yet is that these things really do deepen learning and they help us access
awesomeness
the standards.
Aside?
I mean, awesomeness and
Thank you.
like what these kids are doing in design thinking with the IB program, with project-based learning, is really deepening their knowledge of standards. It's really giving them an opportunity to really think about, how do I model things, you know, like mathematical modeling, computing, scaling. They get to talk about hypothesis. They get to make presentations about what they've done, which includes our English language arts standards. So I mean, really, it's not just about making. It's not just about enjoyment and engagement, although those are definitely things that they get out of it. But what they're really doing is they're taking all of those different silos of learning and they're smashing them together in a big, beautiful, whatever.
Yeah, part of authentic
fireworks show.
Well, that's right. It could be.
Yeah,
we don't know. Part of the authentic learning piece as well is that presentation and bringing in resources from the outside. So if any of you out there want to come bring your skills, expertise, knowledge to us at the middle school or any of the elementary schools or the high school to help us in our maker spaces when we're working on projects, please feel free to email me, ben.brown@summitk12.org. But seriously though, we do love those authentic audiences. We do love anybody coming into our space and sharing what they have and sharing their knowledge. A couple years ago, I did a project where I brought the county commissioners in for our final presentation, and it was about how to save the county from a zombie apocalypse, utilizing the natural resources that we have at our disposal here. And so we were able to do that authentic audience, bring in local community members to help out with ensuring that the students understand that these are important issues. The zombie apocalypse might not be super important but it's fun and interesting, and it provides the students with a tool to understand the resources and the natural resources in our local environment.
And that's just one great example. We've got stuff going on all over the county that is really authentic and engaging for kids. We have kids designing ways to protect nature from humans and humans from nature. We've had some great projects around prosthetics for animals and biomedical engineering. We've had kids redesigning the Frisco Adventure Park using geometry standards and present them to the Frisco Adventure Park. So there's a lot of great things that this brings to the table, as well as like so many great connections between school and life and school and business. We've had a lot of really amazing partners step forward to be a part of our STEM vision, from business benefactors that are giving us, funds and the ability to do things, to actual partners who are giving us knowledge that we can use and then connect to things like our CTE program at the high school. I mean, once kids know that they really love engineering, or that they really love the scientific method, for example, or something like that, then they know that that's something that they're really good at, and they can see a future in those things.
Or coding. You brought in
Absolutely.
500 in 500, or what was that program that you worked on with the coding at the elementary school level?
Yeah, one of our first really successful partnerships is with Evo 3 Workspace, where we created a program that brought coding into schools for students. And it wasn't just us teaching it. It wasn't just teachers teaching it. It was coding professionals. So kids got to see like what they can do with coding while they were learning how to write JavaScript and create apps. And that was really mutually beneficial. It was good for the school, it was good for the kids, and it was great for businesses as well. So that's one thing that's really coming of this, is partnerships that are mutually beneficial, and they get the community into schools and the schools into the community.
Great. We've had so many successes and highlights so far. What would you say is the vision or the future of STEM within our district?
Well, this year's really like a jumping off year. I say last year would be like fueling the rocket ship, and this year is really that rocket ship taking off. We've already had some really great successes this year. From the opening of our maker spaces and our new spaces that are dedicated towards STEM and really authenticating learning, to the partnerships that we've been able to realize that we haven't been able to realize in the past. Being far away from Denver has been a challenge in a lot of ways, because there's a lot of stuff going on in Denver in regards to technology and business partnerships, but we've had some really great success bringing professionals up to us actually this year. We had a really great PD this last year.
Professional development, for those of you who are not in the teacher lingo, know.
That's true, that's true. We just got done with a great professional development this last week that brought professionals in design thinking and STEM from across the state to be here in Summit County to teach our teachers about design thinking, about STEM. We were also able to highlight a lot of our local teachers who have a lot of great expertise.
Yeah, we had, I can't even remember how many sessions there were overall. There were 4 full-day sessions that Peder had organized from professionals from outside of Colorado. And one of them was Future Schools, I believe.
Future Design School, yeah.
Future Design School. We had a STEM Masters program that was run by the Colorado State Extension. We had a VEX program, because we're going to start using robotics and robotic clubs. If you haven't heard of VEX, it's a pretty cool program where they build robots to compete in competitions based on their grade level. And it goes K through 12, I believe. VEX competitions are available for. So this was exposing all of our elementary through high school teachers in the VEX program. And then our 4th full-day PD was a design challenge. You can probably talk more about it. I was in the STEM Masters Day. So what was that design challenge like? I know that there were a bunch of people from the community. A friend of mine was out judging. I saw him at the school that day, and he told me that it was amazing.
Yeah, so the STEM Design Challenge was actually like the pinnacle of what we want to continue to happen in Summit County between schools and businesses. It was a competition that had teachers, 4 teachers from each school come together, and it's not teachers that always work together, but it was kind of just teams of sort of varied teachers. They came together, and their whole job during the day was to create a STEM lesson. And the STEM lesson, I think we can do all kind of on our own, but one of the really special parts about this was that what we did is we brought professionals from around the county in to be a part of that process. So STEM teachers got to develop lessons with STEM professionals from around the county and make their lessons better and more authentic through that partnership. So we had coders, we had entrepreneurs, we had people from Keystone Science School, from the Breckenridge Rouge Music Festival, we had high school teachers, we had the Colorado State Teacher of the Year in 2017. We had just a lot of amazing professionals who came out. We had biomedical engineers who came out just to be a part of that day and to help teachers bring STEM into their lessons. Oh, and at the end of the day, we did give out about $7,000 in prizes to actually make those ideas happen. So it was a really amazing opportunity. Yeah, it was pretty great.
You mentioned the Colorado Teacher of the Year. He gave us a presentation midday as well, which was a keynote speech. And one of the things that he said that resonated with me, particularly as it relates to design thinking and STEM, which was, how do we make brave students? And I like that idea because it's tough to put yourself out there. And a lot of design thinking is going out into the community and saying, I want to help. And by just saying that you want to help is being brave. You're taking a risk. And we want our students to be risk takers in the IB model. That's a real goal.
Yeah. And through taking those risks, we know that they can personalize learning, co-construct meaning, learn deeper, learn better, see what's good in themselves, and set goals for their own learning.
We had some teachers do presentations as well during the course of the day. I heard some feedback from my fellow teachers who went to those presentations, and they loved it. Teachers were able to present their specialty or what they were most interested in. We had a teacher couple partner do bugs, right? A whole thing just on entomology and how to include entomology in the classroom. One of them was a high school teacher. The other is an elementary kindergarten teacher. So to be able to have that kind of breadth of knowledge, to be able to apply those skills in the classroom is really an amazing thing. So thanks to Peder for putting together a PD day that was something teachers can take and apply in our classrooms immediately. It's not something that we have to stew on or build for a later time. We can take a lot of those learnings and apply them tomorrow.
What was the highlight you got from the professional development day?
Well, I had this wonderful lady, Barb, from the CSU Extension program. She is a professor of biology, and she did that out in Oregon at a university out in Oregon. And then she was a curator at the museum, the Oregon Museum or Portland Museum, I can't remember. But she was absolutely wonderful. She loved sloths. She puts together a newsletter for the CSU Extension that must be 30 to 45 pages per month of resources that are specifically designed around STEM. And I don't even know if I could implement every idea that she has in one newsletter in a month, because she puts so much content in there. It's wonderful. So that was a great resource for me to be able to have access to. I know that she'll pick up the phone when I call her and remember who I am, hopefully, during the course of the time that we have in the future. And she puts herself out there to mentor us and help us along our path as well. So that was a great highlight for me.
Because that is exactly what we're going for in STEM in Summit County. We're looking to create opportunities for kids to authenticate and deepen learning in a way that not only involves themselves, but it creates partnerships between schools and teachers like Ben that makes learning better, that makes learning more exciting, and it gives kids an opportunity to see what is truly possible when you learn, right? Like when we went to school, it was compulsory. We showed up and we sat in our seats. But STEM learning is really bringing learning to a place that gives kids an opportunity to create, to learn deeper, to see their future, and to make partnerships. And that's what we're about in Summit County is making partnerships.
Well, great. Well, thank you both for your dedication to our students and empowering them to achieve excellence, especially in STEM, and how it will help them across all their subjects and throughout their life. And thank you for your time today and your expertise. And we want to thank you all for joining us today. If you have any questions about STEM, Vision 2020, or about any of our schools, please see our website, summitk12.org, or contact us directly, 970-368-1000.